I was thinking to myself today that it's been a while, if ever, that I took a video of what I've been doing in the basement, and I just wanted to capture a couple developments, hopefully to help other people with their renovations. I am learning a tremendous amount from doing this. I thought I knew what I was doing in the beginning, but now I've realized there's a whole lot that you have to think about, take into consideration when you're finishing a basement. So I live in Northern Virginia, Prince William County. So if anybody sees this, you have to realize that building codes will vary from state to state, county to county, all that good stuff. But for Prince William County, this is what I know so far, and we'll walk through some of the stuff. So behind me is what was already finished by the builder when the home was built in 2007, and I am refinishing the rest of the basement because I like doing it, and to increase space in the home and hopefully home value. So I've done this 2 times before. I've renovated 2 townhouses, was quite successful at it, and now I'm doing our own house, and it's a learning curve. So this back here was finished, and all of this was not finished. So what I've been doing is working on the framing. Has been the current challenge, and I had a friend say to me on Facebook, hey, I have a buddy who's going to do his basement, but he's asking about fire blocking. And when I got started, I knew about fire blocking, but I had never done it before. I thought it was one of those things that was optional when you do framing, and I quickly found out that it's not optional. You have to do it, or else it won't pass inspection. So what I had to do was I had all the walls framed. I had that wall back there framed. I had this room halfway framed. It was looking good, and that's whenever the fire blocking came up. So I tore the walls back down for a couple of reasons. The main reason was only having a single top plate and bottom plate, which you can see right here at the bottom. That's the bottom plate, and the top plate is up there. I wanted to have more top plate room, so when I put the double layer drywall on the ceiling, that I will have more to screw to when I put the drywall on the walls. Otherwise, only having 1.5 inches up there to screw to wouldn't leave me a whole lot to bite with the drywall. Same with the bottom plate. One is good. It is treated, pressure treated lumber on the bottom plate, but I'm going to put a second 2x4 on top of that, just a regular 2x4. Since it's not in contact with the concrete, it doesn't have to be pressure treated. So I'm going to put another bottom plate on so that I can have more to nail to when I do the baseboard, because I'm going to have the 5 1/4, I believe, baseboard. I'm going to have the higher stuff, so I wanted to have more there to nail onto. So those are the 2 biggest reasons. Otherwise, I probably would have just taken blocks and put them between the joists and then had that be the fire block. But I wanted to have a little bit more substantial material up there, so I'm tore it back down, and I'm doing it over again. So if we take a look at the fire block itself, right there you can see it. So in Prince William County, you're allowed to use 1/2 inch drywall or 3/4 inch particle board, which is what I've chosen to use, or you could use 2x material. And the goal here is to seal up any space between the joist area and here to not allow the draft to carry the fire up through your main floor and then up to your second floor if you have one, and so on and so forth. So that's the reasoning behind the fire blocking. And all I did to put that in there is do this. So you put your blocks between the joists, those little pieces of 2x4. You can't see it, but I nailed them on the front there. Yeah, you can't see. I nailed them on the front, and then I screwed back in the back there, and I know I can't. Yeah, it's not enough light. But I screwed them to the plate that's on top of the block wall. And it's sturdy. I can hang off of those. I weigh 160 pounds. I can hang off of it no problem. It doesn't move. It's nice and sturdy. It ain't going nowhere. So that's how I did it. So once I got the blocking installed, I just put the plywood right on there. Where the plywood stops is plumb with the bottom. So the edge of the plywood right there coincides with that bottom plate. Because my wall is going to stand up on that top plate and it's going to be plumb as it runs up to that plywood. So that's very important to do. My top plate 2x4 is going to go right across the whole length, out flush with the edge of the plywood here, the whole way down the wall, the whole way down to the other end. So very important to have your fire blocking in there so it'll pass code. The bottom plate does have to be pressure treated lumber because it's in contact with the concrete. The insulation is the other unknown. I'm not sure if that's okay for it to be insulated like that, but that insulation was on there when we moved in. So I'm not going to tear it down. If I have to tear it down after everything's framed, it won't be a big deal. Because there's enough space between the framing and then the insulation. I can just get in there and tear it out. And of course you can see here, I have to redo this framing as well. Because in here, you can see right up through the joist. And I really suck at using this selfie stick. But there's no blocking in there. That's completely wrong. So I'll have to redo these couple walls. That one over there. The bulkhead is still a question. I know I read something about doing fire blocking for bulkheads, but I'm not clear on it. That I can deal with after the fact. When the inspector comes, if he says you got to do something, then I'll just go ahead and do it. No big deal. So, that's the update. Very important. For us in Prince William County, there was a site that you can go to for their when you're remodeling a basement. It actually says, hey, if you're remodeling a basement, use this guide to follow, and you can see all their common mistakes. They have it listed, every single one for the building, for plumbing, for mechanical, and electrical. They give you the most common mistakes. I'm using that as a guide so that I can kind of plan out what I need to do to make it not fail, hopefully. So look for that for your county. Look for the website and use that. But I just wanted to highlight the fire blocking, so hopefully someone will find some value in that.